Good morning, boys and girls. Today, we're going to have a great story. And how the story starts off is we have some of one of my favorite treats. Who knows what this is?
Popcorn!
Popcorn. Do you like popcorn too?
Yeah!
Okay, would you like to share some of my popcorn?
Yeah!
Okay, I'm going to give you some here. Here's some for Ethan. Sit back and eat it. And here's some for Olivia. Okay, now this, me sharing my popcorn with you, is a lot like the story I'm going to tell you from the Bible. Jesus was teaching his disciples up on a hill, and he told the disciples that the people, there were thousands of people, right? Thousands. Is that a lot? That's a lot, huh? A lot of people were on the hill, and they were starting to get hungry. When you get hungry, you want something to eat, don't you? Yep. So Jesus told the disciples, go get some bread so I can feed all these people. And the one disciple said, but Jesus, it would take months of salary to be able to afford enough bread to feed all these people that are here. And he's like, we don't have that money. So Jesus said, okay, he said, well, let's see what we can find. So the disciples went out and they found a little boy, kind of like you, Ethan. And this little boy, he had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Can you guys say that? 2 fish.
2 fish.
And 5 loaves of bread.
5 loaves of bread.
Yeah. So that's what he had, and that was his lunch. And the loaves of bread weren't big loaves of bread. They were just like little loaves of bread, like about that size, okay? So those little loaves of bread and those 2 fish is, Jesus said, well, bring it here. I'm going to make this to feed everybody. And they said, you can't feed everybody with just 2 fish and 5 little loaves of bread. And Jesus said, yes, I can. He blessed the food, and he told the disciples to start handing the food out to the people until they didn't want any more. So they started handing out this food to thousands of people, lots and lots of people. And they just kept handing out the food and handing out the food to the point where people said, we're full, we don't want any more. Do you guys get full when you don't want any more? That you do that at home, right? So they got full and they said, I don't want any more. And so then Jesus told the disciples, okay, we don't want to waste any of this, so we want you to take this basket and go around and pick up the leftovers. And when they went to pick up all the leftover bread and fish, do you know what? They had 12 baskets full of leftovers. That was more than what they even started with. So Jesus multiplied, which means he made it last more and more and more, all of that food. There were, on that hill, there were 5,000 men, and then they had wives, and they had children. So that's how many people there were. That's a lot of people. That's a lot. And everybody had bread and fish. Everybody. So afterwards, and they had the 12 baskets left over, I would say that's a miracle. Wouldn't you say that's a miracle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jesus did a great miracle that day. And you know what? You know what all started with? A generous boy who was willing to share his lunch. Just like me, I was willing to share my popcorn with you. Do you guys get treats that you're willing to share with people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what Jesus wants us to be. He wants us to be generous.
And we get some popcorn when you go to bed too.
Yep, sometimes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But listen to this though. Every day we have a choice. We have a choice to be generous and willing to give with a smile on our face and willing to share what we have and do it cheerfully. But that's our choice, huh? That's like sharing your toys. Do you guys like to share your toys with each other? Yeah. Sometimes you don't, but Jesus wants you to be a good sharer. He likes you to be generous, okay? Can you guys say that word? Generous?
Yeah.
Generous. So
Generous.
good job. So that's our story today about Jesus feeding the 5,000 men plus women and children. And what did he use to do it? 2 fish, and 5 loaves of bread that were in a little boy's lunch. All right, until we see you next week, everybody say bye-bye.
Bye.